Hey, Matt.
What?
Do you know what the oldest lie of last month was?
What's that?
That Batman vs. Superman was a bad movie.
Well, we're going to get into it, I guess.
Oh, yes. Welcome to another episode. I believe this is our 5th episode of our podcast. My name's Kelvin.
My name's Matt.
And we're here to talk to you about movies, games, and everything geek. We're going to start off with a bunch of topics that came out over the last couple weeks, and then we're going to jump into a big Batman vs. Superman discussion, possibly leading into a fist fight. We definitely have opposing views, so this is going to be quite a hot topic.
Yeah.
So, first off, to start off the news, earlier this week they released information, I believe at a convention, for the DC Rebirth event that's going on.
Okay.
Like I've talked about a few times now, where they are redoing a bunch of the story arcs. They're bringing some back, they're pushing some forward, they're rebranding but not rebranding. It's a little confusing, so they're trying to clear the airways, I guess, of that. But one of the biggest reveals was that the Joker's identity is going to be revealed.
Yes, you posted
the
this
Justice
to me.
League. And we also talked about this last time. I said the Joker's identity being revealed will be the midichlorians of the Star Wars of Star Wars. Why? Why do we need this revealed?
There were a few people on my Facebook friends list that posted the same article you did, and they're not happy.
I'm not happy. The Joker has a mysticism to it.
Exactly.
It's curious. Why? Like, do they think that this was going to be a good idea? Like, I'm hoping that it's like, oh, his identity is going to be revealed. No, it's just clickbait, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's a bad idea revealing that.
Yeah,
Take
it
a page
probably
out
is.
of George Lucas. Like, please. After that, there was the PlayStation 4.5 announcement.
Yes. I've heard interesting things about this. I don't know, because I want to buy PS4 soon in a few weeks, and now I'm wondering if I should wait or not.
You were the reason I actually looked this up, because after the podcast last time, we were talking about it, and you're like, I don't know if I want the Uncharted bundle, but now they're coming out with a new PlayStation. I went and looked at this PlayStation. Don't get it. It's relative 4K, and I'm saying that in air quotes, because what they're doing is they're taking the 1080 from the PS4, putting it 4 times bigger, compressing it, and then blowing it up. It's going to look worse than what the PlayStation's at right now, because the specs of the 4K PlayStation isn't going to be able to give you the true 4K.
Okay.
After that, people were freaking out. Oh, is this where the consoles are going? Blah, blah, blah. Xbox came out and said, we're not making a 4K Xbox. Like, it will evolve over time. And that spawned from rumors of the Xbox Next, which was just a title that they had come out with, prototype title for the Xbox One.
Maybe if that's the case with the PS4, then maybe it's just a money grab, I guess.
Very much so.
Yeah.
I have my own opinions about the two consoles and where they've gone. It's very hard to say. We'll have to wait till they come out with these with the 4.5s.
On the other hand, though, the PlayStation VR is getting very nice reviews from people I'm seeing so far.
Yeah,
I heard that out of all the VRs that are currently out right now or that are coming out soon, it has the highest or one of the highest refresh rates, which is really important to have in a virtual reality system, because the better the refresh rate, like the least amount of headaches and stuff you'll get using the technology. So,
and that will only set you back about $650.
Very true. That's the thing about these VR gears that are coming out right now. It's just they're so expensive.
Unless you
YouTubers are pissed.
Unless you pre-ordered a Samsung Galaxy 7 and then you got one for free, which will still set you back $700 for the phone itself.
Exactly.
After that, going back into gaming news, Shadow of Mordor 2 got announced because of somebody's resume. I love these resume leaks, especially for this one. Have you ever played Shadow of Mordor?
I haven't gotten the chance to play it yet.
Game of the year, my game of the year for 2014. It is a mix of Batman and Assassin's Creed. Incredible.
Everyone sounds very pleased with Shadows of Mordor.
Honestly, if any of you have not played Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor, do yourself a favor, go pick it up, and have a blast. It's a short game. It's relatively short. You can beat it in about a week. But there's a complete edition that's out there, and it's relatively a good price right now. I know I bought mine digitally, the Game of the Year edition, for $16 off the Xbox. Wait for a deal.
Definitely.
It's definitely one to play. After that, the director behind Aquaman, he brought up how he's going to shoot it. He said that he wants to shoot it with a different tone than Batman vs. Superman. It's going to be an origin story, which is okay with me, considering we haven't had an origin story for Aquaman.
Yeah.
Also that he wanted to have it with the humor that people have with Aquaman, but still keep it fun. It seems like they're just going to be shooting the New 52 launch of Aquaman, the first volume of that, because that's very much what it was. It was a fun volume, explored a lot of the jokes. Like, one of the jokes was him sitting in a diner, and there's like civilians all over the place, and they're pointing at Aquaman. They're like, "Hey, look at him! He only talks to fish," and then he just looks at them and jumps out because of the pressure. They started explaining it that like the pressure that he was living under when he comes up to the surface, it's like he's got no gravity affecting him because of the surface pressure or the underwater pressure that he's been subjected to for so long.
Overall, I'd be excited. I'm excited for a good Aquaman movie.
Yes,
so.
Especially with the actor that they've chosen. It will be good. It will be very, very good. Gambit movie got delayed.
I'm not really surprised.
No.
We haven't really been hearing much about it.
No, but we've been hearing a lot more about Doctor Strange, so I don't know if it's more of like we're just going to try and hype one thing. Kind of like with Ant-Man. They stopped rumors on everything, pushed Ant-Man for a bit, and everybody's like, and then once Ant-Man came out, everybody's freaking out about it. So maybe they're doing it this way?
I did, speaking of Doctor Strange, I did look up his biography on Marvel's website, and finally got to read a little bit about Doctor Strange, and I'm actually really excited now. He's an interesting character, and I think it'll be a good movie.
Yes,
if they tell the tale faithfully.
Especially with Cumberbatch on the helmet being Doctor Strange.
He looks like him, absolutely. Yes. So,
and then our last bit of news that came out: Deadpool has hit the highest grossing rated R movie. Big surprise!
Not surprised.
Not surprised. I've seen that movie 3 times. About the exact same amount of times that I've seen Batman, because it's that good.
I had another little random bit of gaming news.
Sweet.
Battlefront came out with some free DLC along with DLC for season pass holders.
Okay, free DLC.
Yes, free DLC. Because
what's going on, EA?
They released, a new skin for Luke Skywalker.
Okay.
Whereas it's Luke Skywalker in his Hoth uniform at the beginning of episode 5, and he has his blue lightsaber instead of his green. So that's kind of cool. And then they also released a couple free new survival maps.
Okay.
Which I've played with my brother in co-op. And they're fun, but you can kind of tell they were really rushed because they don't have opening cinematics. There's TIE fighters, but there's TIE fighters on both levels, but there's no walkers. There's no AT-ST walkers. And it's actually difficult to take out the TIE fighters because there's no turbo lasers like on Sullust, which is one of the 4 maps that it came with. And Sullust has turbo lasers, so you can take out the TIE fighters. And there's also a class with ion rockets, so you can lock onto the TIE fighters and take them out. But none of the preset classes on these survival maps have those tools to take out TIE fighters more easily. So you're literally waiting for the TIE fighter to come at you and you're shooting it with your blaster. That's like the only way you can take these things out. Or unless you create you use your custom multiplayer card class and equip it, I don't know, make a class just for the level. But it's kind of strange.
Yeah.
They've also released a hero and a villain. But I think those are only for season pass holders.
Okay.
The villain is Greedo, and the hero is, I don't remember his name, but you know Lando Calrissian's co-pilot, the alien dude from episode 6?
Oh,
the guy with the funny laugh?
Yeah.
He's the hero. So it's a little strange.
Yeah. What?
Yeah. I haven't seen them. I have to look up some gameplay of those characters, but...
Man, that $60 season pass is going miles right now. Yeah. Compared to the Batman DLC.
Well, I'm glad they're giving out free stuff, especially for non-season pass holders. So
yeah, they need well, with a game that's like that, like they didn't put a lot into it. Mm-hmm. And the fact that they're coming out with free DLC, I think it's just to keep the people with them, especially with Division that just came out, and today Quantum Break comes out. I can't wait. It's made by the people that made Alan Wake, and it's been getting some pretty damn good reviews. Xbox One and PC exclusive. Keep in mind for that. Ratchet and Clank comes out on the 12th?
Yes. Ratchet and Clank.
I don't know when the movie comes out, though, but it's coming out soon. But that'll be fun.
Okay.
I love Ratchet and Clank. Ratchet and Clank was probably...
I was more of a Jack and Daxter player growing up. I didn't play too much Ratchet and Clank.
I was until I got to the parts where I couldn't beat it, considering I was only 12 years old. Ratchet and Clank was just like, oh, guns, just shoot them. I'm set. That's all good.
One more thing. There was a sneak peek release not too long ago on The Killing Joke.
Yes.
Animated movie.
They did show a lot more footage.
They showed a lot of footage. I'm surprised. So I think that confirms we're going to see a trailer when Justice League versus Teen Titans comes out.
And that comes out very soon now.
Yes.
The other cool thing was, with that footage, we were talking about the clean-cut animation style. Mm-hmm. This works.
I think it looks nice. Yeah.
It looks very nice. They're sticking to the comics.
Very much so.
It looks like panel for panel
yeah.
is going to be on there.
Very very happy with the voice acting so far from what we've heard in the trailer. Very happy with that.
Oh, that'll be a good one. Hey, I can't wait.
Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill at it again. So that's what I'm excited for. I'm just happy those two are back. That's all I care about.
Definitely. All right. Batman vs Superman.
Batman vs Superman.
Should we start
Let's
with
give context.
our opinions on the movie first?
Let's give context to what's about to happen right now.
Okay. Half the world is divided. Half of it loves the movie. The other half hates the movie. There is no middle ground from what I've seen. I think I've seen a few myths, but it really depends on who you sided with going into the movie. Speaking from experience, I have only heard crappy reviews from Superman fans. I'm sorry. Every Batman fan has loved this movie. Is that true, Mr. Superboy?
So as you can kind of guess, Kelvin really enjoyed the movie. I walked out of the theater very angry.
I got a text that night. I got a text message saying...
He got a text message as soon as I got out of the theater.
Well, let's put it into context of how great this movie is. $424 million first weekend. And then the crappy reviews came out, and I think it only made $15 million next week. I have my own harps about the movie.
And of course, there were many things that I did enjoy about this movie, which we're going to talk about for sure.
So, rating, shall we say, out of 10?
Out of 10? It was definitely better than average, so I wouldn't give it a 5.
Okay.
It's probably around a 6 or a 7 for me.
You know what? The magic number was 6 rolling in my head. I'm like, Matt's going to give it a 6. He's going to give it a 6.
It's a 6 or a 7 for me.
I will raise you one more. I'm going to go a 7 to an 8.
Okay.
It's an enjoyable movie, but I can see where people are getting confused. It's a very, very, very comic book movie. I went with a bunch of people my last time, and I was just like, hey, this is when this happens, and this is where this happens, and like after the movie, I was just like describing a lot of the stuff that was going on because I knew the people I went with, they weren't diverse in the comic book lore, and like even my family, that when I went with them, my dad was like, well, what's this and what's this and what's this, and I'm just like, let me just nerd out on you for about half an hour while I describe what they're setting up. It's a setup movie, and that's why I can see why all the terrible reviews are there. But for somebody that reads the comics, it's like, whoa, yeah!
Yeah, my girlfriend was making fun of me for how much I was nerding out during this movie.
Oh, the first day I saw this movie, I went with my best friend Pat, and we were watching the movie, and every little like Easter egg, every little hint to something, we're just pointing at the screen. It's opening night. We're like freaking out. The people beside me are laughing their ass off at me. I'm just like, Riddler, Dark Knight, Death of Superman, yeah! Like everybody, they're like, what the hell is going on? It might have been the most embarrassing time I've ever been to the theater.
Okay, so let's clarify. The reason why I walked out of the theater angry was because I'm not happy with the ending, and I'm not happy with the way this movie goes about talking about the character of Superman, or kind of exploring Superman's character.
So let's start from the beginning.
I'm gonna say they're catering to Batman fans, and I don't like that.
Oh, they are so catering to Batman fans. Okay. So let's start from the very beginning.
Yep, we're hopping on the spoiler train, so leave now if you haven't seen it.
Okay. So, one of my bonuses that I loved about this movie, they did go back, and this is actually something that I've heard complaining about.
Mm-hmm.
They went back and told the origin story of Batman, of his parents dying. The cool thing was, they only spent 3.5 minutes on it. 3.5.
That's exactly what I was thinking. They did the origin story, but it didn't take a lot of time.
Yeah, 3.5 minutes of a 2.5-hour movie.
Yeah.
Suck it up, Buttercup, because that's
I totally
best.
agree.
Exactly.
And there was a really interesting take that I liked that they did on it. The actor who played Thomas Wayne
Yep.
was the comedian from The Watchmen.
Okay.
And I've seen people bring this up. He would make an excellent Thomas Wayne if there was an Earth 2 movie.
I was just about to say
he would make a killer Thomas Wayne as Batman.
And you know who else played Martha? Maggie from Walking Dead.
That was her?
That was her. You can only tell in like 1 or 2 shots. I actually asked the ladies I was with. I'm like, okay, that's Maggie from Walking Dead. They're like, yeah. I want tell me how many scenes you can tell that it's actually her. There's only 2 scenes.
I was not paying attention to that.
It's when they're walking out of the theater, and then the shot where he's got the gun, and then you can just see her faintly. Every shot after that, it looks like somebody completely different. Mm-hmm. But I was thinking the exact same thing too. I'm like, he's a really good actor. He's a really young actor. He could play a Thomas Wayne.
But you know what the other part was that I thought he would make an interesting Thomas Wayne? Was because they did something really interesting with this origin story.
Yeah.
Thomas Wayne stood in front of Martha and Bruce, and he actually looked like he was going to take a swing at the guy.
He did. That's why the guy shot, because he, like, when he's got his fist in front of Bruce, he closes his fist, and then it moves, and then that's when the gunshot goes off.
Yes.
I'm like, oh, damn.
That I love.
Like,
the other thing people were saying that was that it wasn't the Mark of Zorro that they saw. It's like, yes, there was. There was a movie poster for the Mark of Zorro.
There was a movie poster, and it was branded on the side of the classic theater, which was pretty cool. Mm-hmm. So then after that, we move out of there. We get into a dream sequence. We find out that we're in. And then we wake up at the, I want to say, half an hour to the end of Man of Steel, where Zod and Superman are fighting. We get a civilian view. Bruce Wayne jumps into his car, starts driving down the street towards the Wayne Enterprises building, as Superman and Zod are duking it out in there. Now, the confusing thing that I didn't get about it is he keeps screaming into the phone. I don't know if it's a name or if he keeps saying Dad.
No, I think it was a name. I think it was the name of the guy he was talking to.
Because then it was like, okay, well, did he get adopted by somebody? And then, like, he's calling him Dad?
No, I think I was under the impression that it was just one of his, I don't know, like one of his board members at Wayne Enterprises in Metropolis.
Yeah, because then it was like, then the other reason,
like maybe his Lucius Fox in Metropolis.
Okay,
that's kind of how I imagine.
Yeah, because then it was like he got like the note later on in the movie, "You let your family die," and it's like, what? No, his dad dies. Like, so now that that's cleared up, thank you. Mm-hmm. After that, we get a bunch of shot. The desert scene with Superman.
This is where things start to make me angry.
Okay, why? So we open up. We've got Lois Lane, reporter, delivering some badass lines. She's interviewing a terrorist in a military compound, and the CIA puts a agent with her undercover. She doesn't know, and then she gets kidnapped, and Superman comes to save the day while the other military people go and burn a village down. Mm-hmm. This is where it starts to get murky for you with Superman? Why? Why is that?
This is the first of multiple instances in this movie where Superman is made to look like a bad person and made to look like the enemy. And to me, it got past the point of they're doing it for the plot, and now it's in the point of they're just making Superman look bad, and they're not showing the true character of Superman whatsoever. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me that Superman comes to save the day. Yes, everything didn't go right. A lot of people died. A lot of people got shot. But a lot of people got shot, but they blame it on Superman. I can't grasp that.
Superman can't be everywhere at once. And
I get that.
But I also agree with you. That was where that point, like the tone of the movie, trying to make Superman look like a bad guy, was a bit overbearing.
They're just catering to Batman fans. Going back to it, I don't get it, and I don't see why. I get that, you know, it takes place after the events of Man of Steel, and everyone's really mad, and I get that, but I think in this movie, he tried to do so much good, and he tried to prove himself to people, and people are still mad that he's saving lives, but people are still mad, and he's still made out to look like this bad guy when he's really not. Like, what are you doing to Superman's character?
I think the scene with the interviews with the scientists and the politicians and the philosophers, where it's set up like a bunch of news interviews, I think that scene really puts it forward of what they're trying to achieve with this bad image of Superman. Because you have both sides of the spectrum. You have the people that are like, well, every act is a political act. If he doesn't show up, it's this. If he does show up, it's this. I think it's really realistic. I do agree with the way that they shot Superman. That's my opinion, because in a realistic world, we have this superhuman being that can travel around, and we are going to put so many statuses on him where he's going to have to save everybody, because that's the image that we put on him. There's so many times where Superman's referred to as a god, and that's why it's so hard for the people of this universe to cope with the idea that he's not going to be able to save everybody. We keep saying, oh, he's a god, he can do everything, because that's what they say, that's what their image of that in this universe is. But when it comes down to it, he's just a guy with powers. He could be the Flash. The Flash can be there in a second, but he's not going to be able to save everybody. Same with Batman. Batman's got all this technology, all this money in the world. He's not going to be able to save everybody. Because if he had all the money that he had, hey, let's put it into, I don't know, poverty or medicine research and stuff like that. But I agree with how they portrayed Superman.
I do not.
I don't know if it's my bias towards Superman. I don't like Superman. I really don't.
I've really grown to appreciate Superman over the past couple years.
I'm sorry. Your only weakness is kryptonite. To me, it's not good for story.
Go look up the wiki on how many different types of kryptonite there are. I was looking at it today, actually.
I honestly enjoy the story of Superboy more than Superman.
Well, I would agree with you there in many respects, but
it's okay. Back to the movie.
He's interesting in his own way, and he has his own flaws in his own way, and I don't know.
Yeah,
I've grown to appreciate him over the last few years.
I think it's, with me, the reason why I don't like Superman that much is because he's not. I can't relate to him like I can relate to Batman. Batman is just a man.
That's what every Batman fanboy says.
Whoa, fanboy. Okay.
That's what everyone says when they bring up Batman versus Superman. He's more relatable. They're superheroes. They have majority of superheroes have crazy superpowers. None of us can relate to that. They're still interesting. They're still fun to read about.
Okay. Take Wonder Woman, for example. She is a Amazon warrior who's grown up on an island, and then she comes over into the bigger world, shall we say. Right? She comes into an era where everybody is, not just the Amazons. That's very relatable. Okay? I come from grade school, going to high school. It's a whole different world. I can relate to that.
Oh,
Superman, I am a god. I can do everything. I can't relate to that. I can't. I'm sorry.
Oh, boy. But what about the feeling of maybe feeling like an outcast or feeling different from some other people?
That's called teenagers. That's called angst. That's Superboy.
What about being called to do, I don't know, something greater with your life, or, I don't know.
Batman. Justice.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, we got way off topic. Let's get back to the movie here.
Okay. So, where are we going to jump from here?
Let's go with Lois Lane's little side story arc.
Okay.
In terms of trying to find out where the bullet comes from, in terms of, giving her a story to pursue.
Okay. How'd you feel about that?
It made sense to me. That was another thing I find people complaining about, but overall, it's like...
I have no complaints about that. It does make sense. She's Lois Lane. She's going to put herself in the way of danger. And the fact that she's doing it all on her own, she's not asking for Clark Kent's help. She's not going, oh, man, we need to figure this all out. Do I find that they used her way too much in this movie? Yes.
Maybe a little bit.
In the regards to Superman. They took super identities and threw it out the window in this movie. It was ridiculous. Does Lois Lane know who Batman is now after that punch to the face? Does everybody know that Superman is now Clark Kent? Because
no.
He saves her how many times? And they even bring it up.
They covered it up at the end, though. They covered it. It was brief, but they covered it up in the end.
I find that's a really bad cover-up.
It said in the newspaper.
We'll get to that.
It said in the
newspaper. We will get to that. But that is BS. That is...
They covered it up.
How many people in this world have Photoshop? Okay. There we go. Lois Lane, though, I find that she was overused in the Superman plot, but on her plot point on her own, I think it was pretty strong. And well done.
What else is near the beginning of this movie?
Lex Luthor.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say.
Yes.
He's.
I want to hear about this. I want to hear your.
Jesse Eisenberg's goofy to me. He just doesn't fit whatsoever to me.
Did you feel that there was a progression though?
Maybe a tiny bit.
Okay.
But, overall, I'm not impressed.
The very beginning of the movie, I wasn't impressed with it. Where he's freaking out, he's in the hipster offices of LexCorp, and as time went on, his character seemed to evolve with the amount of power that he was given. And when he didn't have that power, he became a little bit more insane. But when he got it, he clicked. And that is where I appreciate this version of Lex Luthor. Because in the beginning, he's trying to get kryptonite from the Indian Ocean to Metropolis, and he needs the permit. And he's trying to fight with Congress and trying to get that going. And when he realizes that his plan isn't going as well as it should be, he starts to lose it. But then when he starts putting together his plan of how he's going to transfer the White Russian to Metropolis, he gets it. He becomes more confident. For example, the scene. He starts going a little crazy when the Congress lady goes, you know what, call a jar of piss, Granny's peach tea. I'm not going to drink it. Like, you're not getting your goddamn license. And then he's like, okay, fine. You know what? Be that way. But when he sets the bomb off in the Congress office, right before that, he's confident. He goes up and he's like, oh, you're in the hot seat tonight. I caught that on my third go. I started laughing because I was like, oh, I see what they did there. And then the power's always innocent. The greatest lie is that power is always innocent. When he says that, he's got like this look in his eye, and he's not stuttering, he's not shaking, he's not doing his crazy little accents or whatever. He's got it down. Later on, you also see a good brief moment of this when he has General Zod's body. Or sorry, no, before that, the ship. He goes in, he's got the fingerprints, and he puts it on the ship. And they're like, do you want to assume command? He goes, okay. Yes. And he speaks up. He's got a bit more, because he realizes how much power he holds. I like that character progression that he went through. That's why I approve of this version of Crazy Lex meets, confident, powerful Lex. And when he gets it all stripped away from him at the very end of the movie, he goes crazy again.
Yeah. Overall, I don't know. I'd probably disagree with you. I'm just not impressed with Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor, and for a few reasons. My big thing is, what's his motivation? He literally has very little to no explanation as to why he hates Superman, and why he's planning all this crazy stuff against Superman. He mentions maybe one or two times where he refers to him as a devil or a demon, and it's like, okay, what's your point here?
Yeah.
I really struggle to understand whether what Luthor's motivation is in terms of why he hates Superman, why he wants him dead. None of that made sense to me. So to me, there was no motivation whatsoever as to why Lex should hate Superman. And then you brought up the Congress explosion scene. Second time in this movie where Superman finally gets a chance to show that he's not an enemy of the people, and that he willfully and peacefully goes into into Congress and is willing to explain himself. I was really excited for a good scene of Superman actually, I don't know, just being eloquent and explaining himself to the government, explaining that he's not the enemy here, and that he's an ally. He doesn't mean any wrong. And what happens? The place blows up and everyone dies. He's left standing, so everyone's gonna blame Superman because he's the only one standing.
I don't know if...
Oh, wait, Lex Luthor was supposed to attend. He's still alive. No, let's blame Superman instead.
I never really I never took it as them blaming Superman for that explosion. Like, it was more of like an attack on Superman, but I didn't think that they blamed it on Superman. I never took it as that. Like, I know that they were like, well, why'd he run away? It's like, that was like the only thing I took from that scene.
That bugged me. I don't know. It bugged the hell out of me.
It bugged a lot of people. It did. As for motivation for Lex, he brings up his father a lot in this movie. The Lex in front of the corp or whatever.
But to me, that was more of like, look what I inherited from Daddy kind of thing.
Yeah, and he was saying that he would every certain day he would walk around waving daisies to a signing authority, and I think that was like his motivation. Kind of, he's an evil villain. The reason why he wants Superman dead is because if Superman's alive, he's going to ruin his plans. And he words it in a way where it's, I'm defending the world. I need to look good, and it's more of I need to make myself look like a hero, but I'm also a villain. But nobody's going to know I'm a villain. It's kind of like... No, that's pretty much the best way I can say it.
In terms of Lex Luthor finding the ship, or having access to the ship, creating Doomsday using Zod's body, like, I called it.
We both called it.
We both called it since that trailer came out, and this is my other huge gripe with this movie.
Okay.
You could call the entire... I literally saw the entire movie out of all the trailers.
That was upsetting. Would you have been more pissed, though, if you walked into the movie and they're just like, General Zod, hey, we're going to make you Doomsday, and not have realized it from the trailers? Would you have been more, like, would that have been
still
more
probably
of
would
like
have
a
been
slap
upset,
in the face?
But probably not as upset.
Or were we given enough time to kind of digest, okay, General Zod is going to be Doomsday?
I think they probably shouldn't have showed it.
Yeah,
I don't think they should have showed Zod in general.
I would have been fine if they showed Zod's body, but not Doomsday. So that we could prepare. It's like, okay, have our little... What are they going to do with Zod? Are they going to bring him back? Hey, does he go into a healing coma like Superman? Something like that. But yeah, I'm not as mad anymore because I had that digested for me for so long. I'm still pissed at the trailer. I really wish they hadn't.
They showed the entire movie in those trailers. It just really upsets me. Besides the ending, but we're getting to that later.
We're slowly
getting there.
Slowly getting to that. One thing I didn't like about Lex, I'll jump back to Lex, is the library fund scene where Batman is going and hacking into the databases of Lex Luthor to find out what the White Russian is. His speech is so destroyed.
Yeah.
And I find it was a waste of time.
That goes to my argument of he's just goofy and it doesn't make sense.
But that scene though also sets up, Batman is Bruce Wayne because Superman realizes that because he's got the earpiece and he's like, hey, what's going on here?
Which I really like that they did.
Yeah, and then we get a really good intro scene with Wonder Woman, which was really neat. Especially with, like, giving her own... Like, she's not dependent on Batman and Superman. She's her own independent character, which was awesome. I'm really happy with how they handled Wonder Woman in this movie. Before that, and we're jumping back a little bit, the first time we see Batman as Batman was awesome. When he's perched up on the corner, and then he like crawls around the ceiling like a bat.
Oh, yes.
That was really cool.
Scene. That was really neat, overall.
We get a little taste of Batman. He started branding people.
Yes. Well, they only did the one person.
They did the one. No, there was one of two.
There was one of
two. He just
okay.
started branding people.
What was my other thing I was going to bring up? Oh, what did you think of the dream sequences?
I absolutely loved the dream sequence.
Really? Okay.
I loved it. So, dream sequence opens up. Batman's coming out of a bunker. It's apocalyptic wasteland. He opens up, and there's a giant Omega symbol on the ground. Then we see like a little convoy. Convoy comes in. He goes in, and he's like, hey, I'm getting kryptonite. I'm going to take down Batman. Or Superman. Whoops. Goes in and sees that it's just a green light, and then he gets betrayed, and then we realize, hey, Superman's army is behind this whole setup. After that, we see parademons, and then Superman comes in, kills 2 people, and then punches Batman in the chest after saying, she was my world, and you took her away from me. I really like that scene. I really did. It's a setup scene.
It is. It's definitely... this movie was one giant setup.
The reason why so many negative reviews came in was, one of them was this scene. Because nobody knew what the hell was going on. Who are these winged demons flying around? Why does Superman have an army? Why is he killing people? What's up with the giant Omega symbol? Why is Metropolis destroyed? Or Gotham, for that matter, whichever city that was. It's a big setup scene. If you read the comics, you'll understand. Parademons are Darkseid's kind of thing. The Omega symbol was his thing. In one of the comic arcs, Darkseid takes over Superman, and that's where Superman's army comes into play. It's a huge setup for something more.
So, this movie was a setup for so many things. I think there were too many dream sequences in this movie. And the only thing I really enjoyed about that specific dream sequence was the fight choreography. I thought Batman fighting all those dudes was some of the most impressive fight choreography I've seen in movies, and I think that fight choreography was better than the big warehouse brawl when he goes to save Martha Kent. I thought it was so much better shot than that one.
I will agree with you there, but I also have my own... I like that warehouse scene a lot.
It's a good scene, but I just think the fight choreography was better in the desert dream
I like
sequence.
them for their own reasons. I like the desert scene for the fight choreography. Yes, it was really well done. There's something about like Marvel and DC doing single shot fights that just impress. It's awesome. But I also like the warehouse scene because the warehouse scene is strictly Batman Arkham, like the Arkham franchise, the video games.
Yeah,
and it gives. I think this has been the best representation of Batman to date. When you look at, say, Christian Bale. He never hid up in the rafters. He never, used many gadgets. He just sat there and punched the crap out of people. This
for
Batman...
the most part, yeah.
Yeah, for the most part. This Batman, he's crawling all over walls, hiding up in rafters, using disarming
lots of different cool
mechanisms.
gadgets.
Lots of cool gadgets. He uses the Bat Claw several times in that warehouse scene, along with all the takedowns. I was really, really impressed. Plus, we get a representation of how vulnerable Batman is. He's got that big fight with the 24 guys, and partway through, Batman's punching a guy, and the guy comes up and shoots him in the back of the head. Batman isn't a god. He's not. He's really, really good at what he does.
Yeah,
but he is not
perfect.
He's not perfect, and I love that they showed that about him. Even then, like, he falls down, and then the 2 guys come out with the knives, and they're attacking him left and right, and he's like, okay, I've got this. Takes out the one guy, gets stabbed in the arm, and it's like, okay, that's pretty darn awesome. Like, he's amazing at what he does, but he's still vulnerable to attack and being hurt, which I definitely appreciated about this movie. And I'm going to say this is probably the best Batman we have seen visually in a movie universe. I will probably go to hell for saying that. But I'm going to say it anyways.
While we're on this topic, let's just do these 2 things really quickly.
Okay.
Overall, just really quick, performance of Ben Affleck as Batman.
Okay. I'm going to split this. Performance as Bruce Wayne, 9 out of 10. As Batman, 8 out of 10.
Okay. Very pleased with him overall as Batman. I would flip-flop the other end. I would say he was a better Batman than Bruce Wayne.
Really?
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of the complaints.
There was a few lines from him as Bruce Wayne that I don't necessarily agree with. I don't like his line about if there's a 1% chance that he's our enemy, then we have to take that as a guarantee.
I loved it.
I don't see the reasoning behind that statement.
I loved it because in the comics, Batman has a contingency plan for every single superhero. He will probably do the same thing for Wonder Woman when he finds the Flash. He probably was already starting on contingency plans for all of them. When he opened up that file and went, oh, there's the Flash, oh, there's Cyborg, oh, there's Aquaman, yeah, let's start. Alfred, come here. Let's start making contingency plans for these guys. We're gonna make sure that they don't get out of hand. I think that's why I appreciated that line. I really like that line. But I also like Bruce Wayne because it shows we're dealing with a Batman who has done 20 years of crime, or 20 to 30 years of crime fighting, taken a few decades off, and then coming back into the game. He's experienced, unlike any of these new superheroes except for Wonder Woman, I will say that. And it shows in his character how he can flip-flop between Bruce Wayne and Batman. Like in the scene where he's at the party and then the secretary walks down and she's like, bathrooms are over here. I had one too many your shoes look nice. Yeah. And then like once she closes the door and he's like, I can't stay in here. Like the duality that he's
Very
going
true.
with his personalities.
Very true.
That's why I really like this Batman and Bruce Wayne combo. Where Christian Bale, he's just like, I'm a businessman. I'm playing American Psycho all the time. And then we jump into him as Batman, and it sounds like he's got a goddamn breathing problem. I went back and watched Dark Knight twice. The amount of just gasping coming out of Christian Bale's Batman. I can't watch. Dark Knight has no longer taken hold as my favorite Batman movie, which upsets me. It's become my favorite Joker movie. It has not become my favorite Batman movie.
Can we acknowledge the fact that Batman straight up murdered people in this movie?
Yes, we need to.
Because they released an article and they did interviews with people, and they basically just said like Batman's tired of this shit and he doesn't care that he's murdering people now. I call huge BS on that.
I call BS.
Huge BS on that.
That was one of my
lazy. That's like not true to the character. That's just it's flat out lazy to me.
That was one of my biggest gripes about the movie is that he straight up murders. I want to say at least 20 people.
I'm going to refer to the one that stood out the most for me was when he goes to save Martha Kent and he just machine guns the truck and the truck blows up. There's definitely like 2 or 3 people in that truck. They're dead. They're dead.
The clearest scene would have been the grenade. Where the guy's like, hey, I've got a grenade. And then he just, like, hits the guy so the grenade drops. And then it just blows up. I'm like, he knows there's a grenade there, right? Or the car scene where
the car chase,
crushes the car, grapples it, drags it for miles, then detaches it. It lands on another car. I'm like, there is 3 people in both cars. There's 6 to the tally. Wow. And he straight up murders the guy right in front of Martha Kent. Just shoots her, and he's like, I'm gonna kill her. Yeah, I know. Boop. And then there's 2 people in that room. And he just lets him friggin' light a flame. And that's not a painless death. He's dead. And just rolling around screaming.
Well, an explosion might have killed him quickly, but we never know.
And the fact that Martha Kent was such a badass that she made a joke right after watching somebody die... I'm a friend of your son's. Yeah, I could tell.
I have issues with that, but we'll get into it.
That when we start to veer off the path of where these characters are is where I start to get a little pissed off. But I still like it.
Performance of Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman.
Amazing. Amazing. Not only do we have a badass female protagonist, she's also badass with the fight choreography. Yeah. She delivers all the lines perfectly. You get a sense of this is a Wonder Woman worth watching. Yeah. I'm going to bring this up. This is going to be like, the 4th time in a row? Justice League War? I'm so glad we don't have that Wonder Woman in this movie. Yeah. If she goes and eats ice cream and says ice cream is wonderful, I'm stepping away from...
I'm leaving.
I'm leaving. I'm leaving.
No, I'd agree with you overall. I wanted to see a little more of her. The only little thing about a scene with a Wonder Woman in it was
don't say the airport scene.
No, I was gonna say the shoehorning in the other 3 Justice League members into the movie.
Okay.
By her having to blatantly look at the files on the computer. Thought that was a little shoved in.
It would have worked better if Batman had done it.
Also, the Aquaman video was really awkward.
Yeah?
That was really awkward to watch. He was just like awkwardly like staring into the camera for like a good 30 seconds to a minute
To me, it seemed
before
like
he ends up stabbing the damn
To
thing.
me, it looked like he just woke up. And he's just like, why is there lights in front of me? Stab. Then flies off. Now that we've shoehorned ourselves into this, what'd you think of the Flash scene?
It took me a second to figure out who that was, and I was like, oh, are they doing like a Flash thing? Oh, okay.
Red streak.
Yeah.
I'm a little upset they didn't do the CW.
This
Flash.
is my very first. This is the first instance in the movie where I thought they're setting up Injustice. They're setting up Injustice so hard, and I'm gonna be really, really, really mad if they do that.
Why do you get an Injustice feel?
Because once again, Superman's a bad guy. Superman's horrible. Superman is mean and kills everyone. I hate. I don't like the Injustice storyline.
And then so then we get Cyborg reveal too.
That was cool.
That was really cool, especially with
I liked
I
liked the Flash video and I liked the Cyborg video.
Because that's also Darkseid tech. That's another thing that we need to realize is that the box that he activates is part of the Darkseid tech. Oh, what else do we need to bring up? Okay,
I say let's go to the big fight.
the big fight.
The big fight.
So Lex Luthor sets this fight up,
Yep.
which is pretty cool. This is another scene where we see the all-powerful Lex Luthor, who doesn't stutter, who doesn't have a power problem because he now controls a god. He delivers a really good speech, and then we have the kidnapping of Martha Kent. Spoiler, that's how we're connected? Ugh! Anyways, so Superman goes over to go meet up with Batman. Batman sets up the first trap. You don't understand. Yes, I do. And then Superman pushes Batman like a chump? I'm sorry. You need to work on your negotiation skills, buddy. The first thing you do is you don't go into a diplomatic talk and just go and start pushing people, especially with his strength.
I thought Batman made the first move.
He did make the first move, but if Superman is
if he makes the first move, then
okay.
If you shove me, I'm shoving you back.
Okay. Superman lands. He does the sonic crap.
Yeah.
That's there. And then after that, Superman is trying to save his mother. If I was trying to save my mom, I would be in a lot more of a pleading position where it's like, dude, you need to listen to me. I would have gone through all of that crap. The supersonic booms, the freaking bullets.
Machine guns too.
I wouldn't have touched Batman once.
I don't know, man.
Because
you shove me, I'm shoving you back.
He didn't shove him. He took him and threw him like a freaking touchdown. It just seemed odd. Like, that scene always strikes me as weird because it's like, I need to tell you that we need to save my mom and come up with a plan. But here I am, aggression.
I don't know.
That struck me as odd.
That was one thing. That was one of the things my girlfriend asked me. What did you think of the Batman-Superman fight? And I just said, meh. I thought it was really average.
I thought it was well done.
I thought it was really average, and I don't know. I didn't enjoy it as much.
Okay, before I start raving about it, why do you think it was meh?
It wasn't exciting to me. Like, I'd much rather take the Dark Knight Returns fight over this fight.
Dark Knight Returns fight. Okay.
It was so plain. It was so plain and average to me, and
I will say it was a little too short.
Yes.
But I think it's because of what they're trying to set up. They're like, oh shit, we are now 2 hours and 15 minutes into the movie. We only have 15 minutes left. Let's wrap this up, and then we'll get to Doomsday.
The movie's called Batman vs. Superman, and the fight was just really average to me.
Dawn of Justice. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, the fight could have been longer. It was a big setup to a 15-minute fight. But I find that the content in the fight was enjoyable and well done. I just wish it was longer.
And then my other issue with this fight is, oh my gosh, he's about to stab Superman, and he's screaming at him, "Why are you saying the name? Why are you saying Martha or whatever?" And Lois comes and says it's his mother's name, and it's like, "Oh hi, my name's Bruce. My name's Clark. Let's be friends."
Yeah.
Like, instantly. I'm a friend of your son's. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the thing that combines us is that our moms have the same name? Cool, bro. Let's shake on it. That might have been the easiest cop-out I've ever seen.
A little bit. Alrighty, we're running out of time here, so let's hop right to the ending.
Doomsday. Yeah.
Doomsday reveal.
Fight. It ends
Not
up...
a bad fight overall. I probably enjoyed that fight more than Batman versus Superman fight.
Wonder Woman comes in, saves the two boys' ass like nobody's
Oh,
business.
very cool. From what we saw, she uses the lasso, she uses the sword and the shield combo.
She uses everything. She uses the gauntlets,
which is very cool.
Superman
holds her own overall,
yes,
which is awesome.
Superman in this fight, I was not impressed. Hey, look, I've got lasers, I've got punches. Oh, look, my girlfriend's over here. I need to go save her. You don't get out of a fight.
Well, that was stupid too. And like, ooh, let's throw away the magical staff.
Yeah, Batman will never need this again. Chalk. Oh no, now I need to go back in.
Yeah, that was dumb.
It's like a kid breaking a pot and then going, oh no, I need to fix this. I didn't like Superman in the fight. Batman, I find, was very well represented in the fight.
He was totally overpowered. Couldn't
do much. So
I'd agree with that, yeah.
And they did it perfectly. Because the scene where Doomsday looks at him, he goes, oh shit. And it's like, he realizes if he does anything, he is screwed. And then he shoots off the canister at the right time. They have the perfect Dark Knight Returns Part 2 little Easter egg where he like grapples to the wall and then he's like, and then the thunderbolt comes in. I'm like, I see what you did there. Superman gets stabbed at the end of that.
So yes, in an effort to defeat and kill Doomsday, Superman grabs the staff, lunges at Doomsday, stabs him with it in the heart, and as a result, Doomsday stabs him while he is in his weakened state, being near kryptonite, and Superman dies. That is the big spoiler for this movie. Superman dies.
This movie would be perfectly summarized as The Dark Knight Returns Part 2, The Death and Return of Superman.
That's pretty much, yeah.
It's mixing those two. The only thing is, I felt that they brought Superman back way too frickin' soon. I'm sorry. Let's jump back a little bit. We have the non-emotional ending scene. Superman's dead. Batman's looking at his body like, well, shit, I just lost my 5-second friend. Wonder Woman's like, well, shit, people are upset because somebody's dead. Let me look away. Lois is the only one that's freaking out right now. Then we've got this big funeral scene. Superman was going to propose to Lois Lane, so she wears the ring. Not as emotional as it should have been. I wish that he would have done that sooner. I don't think they should have waited till he died to be like, hey, guess what? We were going to get engaged. Now it's what I summarize as the perfect after credits scene where Batman is talking with Wonder Woman, Diana Prince, and is setting up the Justice League. They're basically just saying, hey, there's others like us out there. We need them because they're going to fight. Why do you need to fight? Oh, just a feeling. Ha, 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 ha. I had a dream. So we set up the Justice League, and then afterwards, Batman starts talking to Lex Luthor, saying, I will find you wherever you are, blah, 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 blah. The bell is already rung. Another thing about Darkseid.
Yep.
And then we have the ending scene with Lois Lane. She throws dirt onto the coffin. And then for a split second, that dirt that's on the coffin rises about a centimeter off the coffin, hinting at his healing coma. I wish they just wouldn't have shown the dirt rising.
No.
I think it's way too soon to bring him back. Or even hint that he's coming back. Leave him at he's dead. The really cool thing about that scene, though, was the homage to the Death and Return of the Death of Superman comic cover because of the coffin. The black coffin with the silver Superman logo is very much the same packaging that the Death of Superman came in.
Yeah, this is the point where I wanted to walk out the theater. Because
it was the end of the movie.
That too, but there's, in my opinion, this was a setup movie. This is a setup movie for three things, in my opinion: A, Justice League; B, Darkseid. Many prominent examples we've discussed. The other one was when the painting was flipped upside down.
Yep.
And C, Injustice, as I said earlier.
Yeah.
Which I don't want to see. I don't want to see an Injustice movie.
At this point, after talking about it all, I wish that they would have thrown the dirt onto the coffin and that painting flip where he's like ding 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 ding. I wish the movie would have ended there. That would have been the perfect ending to this movie.
So yeah, overall, just I don't like that they killed off Superman because I think they have a really good thing with Henry Cavill and his performance as Superman, but they're not giving him, through the writing of both of these movies, Man of Steel and Batman vs Superman, they're not giving Henry Cavill the opportunity to showcase the true character of Superman, and they have nothing to build on as a result of his death. And I think they could have done something really well as in terms of being Superman being one of the founding members of the Justice League and being the face of the Justice League, because you can't have a Justice League without Superman, in my opinion. Honestly, I think he's the face of the Justice League more than Wonder Woman, more than Batman is. And I think if you're taking that away, you're making a huge mistake. And I think they could have done the death of Superman much later, when they built up the character and told the character's story so much better. And then when he dies, you have Justice League members who looked up to Superman as a leader and looked up to Superman as a teammate and an ally, and they're all grieving over the death of an ally. And it's a wasted opportunity, in my opinion. Wasted opportunity.
I feel in a way they did that, but they didn't at the same time. Like with like you're saying, like people looking up, especially with that last scene where it's like the monument to Superman. All you have to do is look around. I think that Batman and Wonder Woman are going to be those people that are going to be, well, we should do this in the name of Superman. They could turn around and, much like Young Justice, where it's like, well, we need a team leader. Who's going to be the team leader? And then Superman comes out of nowhere with his long curly locks like he did in The Return of Superman. And he's like, I am here to be your leader.
I guess now that I think about it, that makes me angry, because like now that he's dead, now everyone looks up to him as a hero. Now everyone thinks he's amazing. It's like it's like that saying, nobody realizes the good things that they've got until it's gone.
That, and you don't really realize somebody's what they've done until they die. Mm-hmm. It's a perfect representation of that. And is it a statement on the human condition? Is it a statement on society? Very much could be. Yeah. This movie was very philosophical. Very, very philosophical. It could be throwing a lot of messages out there. I don't know if I'm angry. I'm excited for a Justice League movie just because I want to see where it's going to. But I feel like the Man of Steel movie and this movie are going to be way too heavily weighed on in terms of content for that movie.
Yeah. We're going to see what happens, I guess. So
Wonder Woman's the next movie to come out.
Yeah.
And it's a prequel.
Let's finish off here. So what my girlfriend did with me as we walked out of the movie was, she knew I was angry. She said, what were 5 things you liked about the movie? So I said, okay, let's do this now. Ben Affleck's performance as Batman. Gal Gadot's performance as Wonder Woman. There was a lot of really nice homage to a lot of different comic books, especially in the Batman universe. You brought up the scene of the man holding the flamethrower saying, I'm going to do it. Batman says, I know you will. That's taken straight from The Dark Knight Returns, which I absolutely loved. When Bruce Wayne is introduced to Clark Kent, he says this really funny line to him, and he says, oh, is Daily Planet, is that the one I own? I'm not really sure. Because in Batman Hush, Wayne Tech does own the Daily Planet.
Yes.
Which is really cool. So there's a lot of really cool homage to comic books in this movie. What were the other things that I liked? I can't remember off the top of my... I really liked bringing back Jonathan Kent in the... I don't know if it was like a dream sequence or...
Yeah.
I really liked that scene. That was really emotional, kind of a tearjerker for sure. What was the other one? Oh yeah, I guess overall fight choreography, very well done. Those are my 5.
Yeah. My 5, Batman, Wonder Woman, very much so. I love all the homages to the comic books. I'm going to raise you one more with the same scene that you just talked about, where he's talking, Clark Kent is talking to Bruce Wayne about Batman, and he's like, it might just be the Gotham in me. You know, we have a kind of a history of freaks dressed as clowns. Love that line.
Good. Yeah, that's a good line.
I loved the setup because it was done well. I just think there was too much setup, but what they're setting up to looks promising, and the fight choreography was very entertaining and very well done. I just wish Batman didn't kill so many people.
I think that just about does it.
Yeah, I would say so.
I would like us to review Daredevil together, if you can finish it. I've finished it. Kelvin's not quite there yet.
I am on episode 5 right now. You know what? I will make a effort after work tonight. I'll go and watch a few episodes, and I'll finish that up so that we can talk about Daredevil next time.
Cool.
And that'll be a good one. If you guys have not started Daredevil, go do so, because Season 2 is so much better than Season 1.
Overall, I'm very pleased with Season 2. There was there's probably only one or two main issues that I've had with season 2 so far. So.
I have a lot to talk about already with the first 4 episodes, and it's fantastic. But yeah, we hope that you enjoyed this episode. If you have any comments, anything that you guys think that we should talk about, send it our way. Yep. We'll definitely look into it. And yeah,
hit us up on Facebook, YouTube, SoundCloud, all the good stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's it.
And thank you so much for listening again. Thank you very 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 much for listening again.